Hey, it's Keith with Yarbrough & Sons, and we kind of put together a nice visual aid to kind of show how your airflow is affected by different filters. All right, so what we got right here is what we're calling the Filtertron 2000. What we have is where we can adjust the airflow a little bit, and we have a tube here for actual visual to show how the air can be going out without a filter, and then we'll put filters on and we'll show where that's going to line up on that filter. And so with a couple different filters, you'll see the difference. All filters are rated by their MERV rating. That is the actual particles that they can actually collect. A lot of people like to have a higher MERV rating. One reason we would want to go with a lower MERV rating is because it is going to affect that airflow. When you put a more expensive, higher quality filter in there, you're actually blocking more airflow. So let's take a look at this and see how it works. So this right here is what we call a 1-inch filter. The actual MERV rating on this is an 8. It's about the lowest you can get on MERV rating. MERV 8 is actually what I suggest. If you're going to do a 1-inch, I don't suggest really going too high on your MERV rating. Let's see how this reacts whenever we put it on this system. So as we see, it's definitely dropping, so we're definitely affecting the airflow. Even though this is what I would suggest, you can see how much airflow you're actually losing from this filter alone. It's not bad. We're still getting some airflow through there. Like I said, this would be the bare minimum I would ever suggest. You can imagine if this is getting dirty, how much airflow would drop, how fast that ball would drop. But I do want to show you another filter. This is the same MERV rating, MERV 8. Now the difference in this is actually a 2-inch filter. A lot of people would want to think, well, this is a bigger filter, I could go longer. You could possibly go longer, but like I said, even with 1-inch or this 2-inch here, you want to change them out about every month to 3 months. Let's look at this and see how it's going to go. So, as you can see, this one is a lot better at letting air through because of that surface area. We're not dropping all the way down. We're kind of staying right there in the middle. So, this is a pretty good air filter. Now, being that this 1-inch is going to be a lot cheaper than this 2-inch, but with how much wear and tear you're going to do on your blower motor, by not having enough airflow through there, it would actually benefit to put that money into a little bit more of an expensive filter, but not affect the unit. Let's look at another one of the filters. It's probably my favorite filter, especially if you're worried about allergies and other factors like that. This is a 5-inch filter. It also is rated for MERV 16, which means it's going to collect a lot more of those dust particles. So this is actually great. This is actually a carbon filter too. Another benefit of this, you could go 6 months without changing this out. Now, that varies too, but for the most part, you can go 6 months as opposed to a month to 3 months. Let's see how this one goes. So as we can see, with that more surface area because of the thicker filter, we get way better airflow. So definitely a filter like this comes in handy if you have a high allergy problem. All around, this filter would be great for every home. Next, I have another 1-inch, and I want to kind of show you this to show you that not all 1-inches are created the same. You know, I talked about earlier that I would rather go with a lower MERV rating and combat my filtration a different way. If you don't have enough airflow going through your unit, you're going to run into the same problem of now your coil's going to get too cold, you're going to overwork your outdoor unit. You can really damage a system. So this filter right here, I'm not a fan of these filters. You might as well put cardboard over that unit as opposed to putting this in there. So this is the real reason I wanted to demonstrate this, is because of these filters. I would not suggest really buying these filters unless you had tons of different return air grills coming, so you had lots of air coming to your unit. There's a good chance your house does not have enough air going to the unit. So buying something like this will actually affect your unit and actually make your unit not last as long. So let's go ahead and check this one out. And see, that's what I'm talking about. This thing, it can definitely get all the particles out of the air, but it drops that ball pretty quick. And not only that, this is actual clean filter. Could you imagine if we got this just a little bit dirty? You're going to definitely have your airflow affected by this pretty quick. So now let's take MERV 12 versus a MERV 8, and we'll let them battle it out. So how I have this set up right now, you can see this 1-inch MERV 8 is riding right along the top. It drops a little bit, but it's definitely letting some airflow through. And so let's go ahead and change that, and we'll go ahead and try this, and we'll see if this makes any difference. So as you can see, there's a lot less going through there. It's wanting to drop even more. We're definitely have a difference in airflow. I mean, we're talking about a foot of a difference there. If you were worried about airflow and you don't want to go with a high-end filter like this, I would suggest an ionizer. Ionizers are great. They're a big improvement on your air filtration. So instead of using a filter that's going to affect airflow, this is actually going to use ions to make that dirt actually clump together better so that it catches in that filter. So we can have a less efficient filter, but more airflow. This is our plasma here. It is actually our lower end of our ionizers. There's still a lot of great benefits to it. We'll install this for $460. So give us a call and let us come install this, or let us give you a quote on a better filtration system. Overall, this has been a really fun experiment for me and for us. We built this machine because we feel like having a visual aid of seeing how things affect really gives you the power to know what is going on with your system and make great decisions.